In this video I'm going to be talking about the search facilities within Counter-Sketch to find what you want for your customer. Let's move my mouse up here. The very first thing you need to do, and this is very important, is you need to qualify the customer. You don't want to really go into here not having a full idea of what you're going to be looking for. It's really not a good idea not to qualify the customer first. Listen to what they're saying. What metals do they want? What stones? The kind of money they want to spend can come a little bit later, but you'll get an idea. Shapes of stones, colours of stones, birth dates, all sorts of questions you need to ask before you come looking in here. You know, your customers don't come looking in your window without knowing what they're looking for. Well, I'm sure there are some customers out there, and I've had them myself in my many years in retail jewellery, where they come in and not having a clue what they want, but that's our job to work out what suits them and get them to go away from your shop happy with their new shiny bauble. So, how do we search? Well, there is a new part to the software which I really like. It's called What's Your Style, and it's like a little quiz that the customer can do. So over here there's a little tab that says What's Your Style. So we click this, and you could actually get the customer to click this themselves and let them steer it. So it says create. What's your design style? Take the quiz. Select the images to which you're most drawn. Think vibe, shape, mood, inspiration, the overall look. Don't linger, just go with your instincts. If you're shopping for someone else, pick what you think they would choose. So, take the quiz. So, what you're going to do is pick the chair that appeals to you first off, without kind of lingering over, and as a general rule I always click that one. Now the colours, bit of a difficult one, that one, because they're quite pastel colours, they're not very strong colours, so that's about as strong as the colours go on there. House wise, which house would you pick? Well, this time I'm going to pick the one that's as close to my own house as possible. Knives and forks, these are the ones that I currently have. My front door is probably more like that one out of all of those, and that's the one that I like because that's why I bought the house. Flowers, I like roses, they're probably my favourite. Handbags, and I'm sorry this is not appearing, it's just my video card's not refreshing quickly enough. What handbag would my wife like, which is probably more like what I would go for. Should probably go for this big one here. Lamps, oh dear, these are not refreshing either, this is unfortunate. I'm going to click that one. Shoes, what shoes would my wife more than or like? Probably those. Instruments, definitely piano, and that's the completion of that. So it says your jewellery design style is classic with a touch of glamour. Traditional and always tasteful, you prefer high quality design that are perfect with anything, no matter the season. Always looking pulled together. A timeless aesthetic and enduring interest are what you're about. Yeah, that's me, or my wife. Browse these styles. So what that's going to do is going to fine tune the search for me. So now these are the rings, via all rings, that it's suggesting are going to be my kind of style. So what's happened down here is the classic button has been engaged down here. So these are all the designs that it thinks that I need to go through, of which there is quite a few, 331. So at this point, you as the person who's steering the product, I would try and narrow this down a little bit further. So, center stone shape. Actually, let's start from the top. It's assuming that I'm going to be wanting platinum. Let's stick with that platinum for the head and the shank. Center stone, diamond, yeah. Center stone shape, we're going to go for round. I'm not very adventurous today. So what that does is it cancels down all the ones that are not round. So that's 211. I could go down a little bit further and center stone setting. So you've got prong. So when you hand over prong, which in our nation is claw, a prong setting is designed to emphasize a stone, and with the most popular setting type 4 prong setting show off more of the stone, but 6 prongs are more secure. So let's go for prong, or claw should we say. Let's see how that affects. That's down to 167 and so on. So we could go down side stone shape. Let's just have a look at that. Let's go for side stones as round. That takes that down to 44. At that point, stop clicking on here. You're going to reduce this down too far and there isn't going to be enough. So now what I want to do is have a look through these rings, and let's say that she quite likes this one. If I click that, it then gives me a brief synopsis of that ring, and if I click these, it'll allow me to see through finger, side view, top view, 3/4 view. I can have a look at that one and just cycle through them, narrowing down the customer's what they want to look at. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and click new session. So now I'm back in the front page, and let's have a look through a few more things on this front page. So let's say I didn't want to take that what's your style. I have a kind of keen idea of what the customer's looking for. So let's say 3C's designs, and this time the primary metal, which is the shank, I want that to be 18 karat yellow gold. I want the head to be white gold, center stone to be diamond. Let's have a look at some of these things, some of these parameters. I'm going to go for, let's see, Asher cut, which is quite popular, and there's 7 designs, so immediately stop. Let's go back on that one. Probably being difficult on myself. Oop, there's only 5 on that one. Let's come back. Let's go for round. There's 59 there. Let's have a look at these. Click. And that's not to say that there is very few products in this range. I'm currently going through the 3C's range, which is a new range that Stuller have created, and the majority, if not all, are designed by a British designer called Gary Baines, who's a very, very good jewellery designer from sunny Leeds. So it's just a case of going through these and just like browsing a window with your customer, and just seeing which ones work for them. So let's come out of here, let's go back to search, let's go through let's say all ring designs. So this is everything, so to speak. Let's try that again. So we're going to go for a yellow gold shank, and that has not changed, 925. Let's change this to round, and let's go back there and change that to Asher. And all I'm doing is showing you the kind of, there's not, Ashers don't seem that many. There is 19 in there to look at. Some quite nice. Let's just go back to a more traditional, more popular styling. So we've got 69 rings to look at there. And you've not got to think that, oh, there's only 69. The design options thereafter are infinite. You know, the amount of things that you can do to some of these designs to get them to look the way that you want them to look is incredible, via the customize or even the freehand part. So let's just take this back to platinum. Where are we? There. Let's go back to platinum. What are we currently on? Setting style, let's go for prong or claw. Let's change this out to round. And while I'm looking at is well, round, there's absolutely lots of things. And again, I can click these. What these here down here are similar designs that the program feels that are of a likeness to the one that you're currently looking at. And sometimes, the customer can give you a real curveball. They're looking at round, and then all of a sudden they go square, or they go a different colour stone. There's what customs are like in respect of changing them, spinning on a dime and changing their options. So what I'm going to do is just go down here and click some more of these buttons. So let's just change this to show all. So I've got it on show all, round, side stones, show all, side, setting, so all, style. Let's have a look at some of the styles. So let's have a look at Art Deco. Bold, geometric, simplistic and stylized deco style fuses east with west and form with colour and synthesizes of pure art and lasting luxury. Synthesis. Cool word. So let's just have a look at what I've got here. I've got 61 Art Deco styled rings, and without referring to my history books, they look kind of how I would think of Art Deco. Obviously this is subjective. Some of these designs you may disagree with as saying that these are Art Deco. Let's just try Art Nouveau. Let's have a look at those. Wow, there's some interesting ones in there. Wouldn't mind having a look at some of those. That one's quite a funky little number. Very Tiffany-esque. Wow, let's not go down there. Let's go back up here. And moving across, let's go to European. This is where I tend to live, into the European section. 63 rings. And in here these are more sympathetic to our customer base. And again, if you think some of these, oof, that looks a bit fussy, or it has too many stones, all this can be changed. Whatever you desire to a degree can be done, and if it can't be done via the standalone models, then you just create one freehand from scratch. The sky's the limit with this product in what you can do. So let's just take that back to show all. Let's go to design element, have a look at this. Now this is where it gets interesting. You've got 3 stone, 5 stone, asymmetrical, bands, cabochon, and so on. Let's just click cabochon a sec, because I've got a feeling we haven't got that many. Yeah, cabochon diamonds, not particularly popular, but there is 3 cabochon cut stones in there, and these have a lot of adaptability. You can do all sorts with these 3. I know from experience, I have played with these. So 3 stones, let's just see, we've got 86 3 stones, but remember there is other sections we can go into, so there is far more than the 3 stones that is portrayed here. So let's use this in seriousness. Let's go back to my search. I've now got a customer in front of me that wants to see some rings. So I'm quite familiar with the 3 C's, so I'm going via the 3 C's. So we're clicking these, they're looking at them over here. So remember that increase button, which allows me to increase the page. Be careful with this sometimes the picture itself can be cut off, a bit like your dad photographing you, when he cuts your head off with the camera. So just be aware of that. Used in conjunction with this, it's probably more viable in that respect, especially if you've got Mrs. Magoo sat in front of you and she's having difficulty seeing things. I would recommend outputting your machine to a large 32-inch monitor on your wall, or something like that, but we can help you with designing on something. Anyway, I digress. Let's have a look at some rings. So he quite likes the look of this one. So I'm going to click this little button here, and what this does is it kind of puts it on your little serving tray as you're going through your window, or as you're at the back of the window pointing to the rings, and she's pointing or he's pointing on the other side, this one, and you're taking those rings out. So we'll just move along. That's a really nice ring, so it wants to have a look at that one. Let's have a look through finger. He quite likes that one, so let's go back to that one. Yeah, it's not the same as that one. Let's have a look at this one. Not too keen on that one. Moving on. Hasn't thought about Six Claw. Quite likes the look of that one, so we'll do a little green dot on there. And my rule of 3 kind of went out the window when I started using the product. I have a rule of 6 now. So what I do is I try and limit them to 6 rings. If they start going, yeah, that one, 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 you're going to be there a long time, and I feel that you've got to ask yourself, have I qualified this customer properly? Qualify at all times. So those are the 6 rings that I quite like the look of, and in the next video we're going to be looking at these 6 rings a little bit closer. So, see you in the next video. Bye bye.